The central lowlands of Scotland are rich in coal and iron ore, and this area played a key role in the rise of industrial Scotland in the 1800s. To transport the raw materials to cities and ports, an extensive canal network was created.
Like that for well over 60 years. But then in 1998 they started the Millennium Link project. It cost £84 million.
Oh!
Yeah. And they were going to try and redo the link between the Union and Forth and Clyde canals. But since they closed the locks, they'd built houses and businesses and roads, and a viaduct that carried the railway had been filled in, so they had to get through. How were they going to do it?
Go through somebody's kitchen.
They can be a bit daunting, especially for new boaters or those with little experience, so there's always some experienced staff on hand to guide you through. As you come out of the staircase locks, you've got a really sharp starboard turn, and then Rough Castle Tunnel ahead. Weirdly, it's the first canal tunnel to be dug in the UK for decades, but it's only the second ever canal tunnel to be dug in Scotland. And they had to dig it because above it is the railway between Edinburgh and Glasgow. There's also Bonny Hill Road, which is a busy road. There's some houses, and there's the Antonine Wall, which is a historic Roman wall, and they weren't allowed to disturb that. Rough Castle Tunnel is a baby. It's only 20 years old. It's 575 feet long, and it recently had some amazing architectural lighting installed along the length of the roof. Things are about to get rather groovy. Wow, that was amazing, and things are about to get even better. We emerge from the tunnel approaching the aqueduct that carries us towards the Falkirk Wheel. Standing 115 feet high, I can see distant mountains further north into Scotland from here, and a bit more concerning, a dead end in the canal with a 79-foot drop. Millennium Project began, the biggest challenge was always going to be reconnecting the Union Canal.
These waterways were not only restored, but in some cases, were reinvented. Completed in 2002, this is the Falkirk Wheel, now one of Scotland's biggest tourist attractions. It uses a giant rotating mechanism to simultaneously raise and lower boats 24 metres between the Forth and Clyde and Union canals. The intention was to create a dramatic 21st century structure to replace the 11 locks that previously connected the two waterways. The Falkirk Wheel is the only boat lift of its kind in the world, taking 5.5 minutes to complete a half turn. Surprisingly, the wheel only uses the same amount of energy as it would take to boil 8 household kettles.